Life is a divine adventure full of twists and turns, ups and downs. Diving into the truth, one finds not only inspiration, but liberation. Join us in the journey, the movement, and the revolution. Welcome everyone. I am so excited to announce that this is our very first live as Awakening the World. So I'm super excited to have everyone join in this beautiful Sunday service, knowing that this is the beginning of something that I've been just called to do for so long. And so I want to first just say thank you, and if you like what you see here, please help us by commenting, sharing, and liking this video right here, okay? And the intention and mission of today's Sunday service is one of inspiration for truth, wisdom, and love. Because the mission of Awakening the World is awakening 1 billion people globally. And how do we do that? We do that by awakening ourselves. Because when we awaken, there is something within us, a gift, a calling, inspiration, tapping into that indwelling spirit, and we naturally give it back to the world. So we truly believe that inspiring and growing as a community and the individualization is what inspires and awakens the entire world. So before we begin, I just want to begin with an invocation. And so I just invite everybody to take a deep breath, tapping into this one space, this sacred space within, knowing that everything that is here is for our highest good. All of life is designed for our awakening, for us to awaken to that true divine power, that superpower within us. Awakening to our life purpose and our calling to help and raise and rise and awaken the entire world. And I know for certain that there's truth that we have that's written on every cell in our body, that's written in all of life. And it is this scripture that is written inside of me and you that frees us. The answers that we've all been seeking have been within us the entire time. And so I know with certainty that this is a sacred space to grow, evolve, and love. Awakening to the true self, awakening to your purpose, and awakening the world. As together we release this into the law, knowing it's been heard within my mind, within my subconscious mind, within your mind, and being reflected back through the universal law right here and right now, knowing it's done. As together we say, and so it is. So thanks you guys. I would like to introduce myself. My name is Dr. Erin Haskell. I'm Reverend Dr. Erin Haskell, Doctor of Divinity, New Thought Minister, and a mother and lover of life. And I am so thrilled to be doing this. This is my deepest passion, love, knowing that as we step into our presence, our passion, and our purpose, life is miraculous. So on that note, my talk today is called Wake Up. Wake Up World. Because what I'm certain is this, is that it's time. We've come to a time in history when it's no longer about knowing the truth, it's about living the truth. And I believe that that is where we are in the history, the evolution of our spirituality. So on that note, it dawned on me the other day. So I had one of those days. It was a moment, and I thought, I was just feeling a little down. I felt a little down, and I haven't felt like that in years. I remember in my 20s, I had a lot of down days, a lot of sad days, days where I thought, what is the point of all this stuff called life? And it's been a long time. I don't get down a lot these days because we have principles, right? We know what to do. We know what daily spiritual practices to do. And I had one of these moments, and I was sitting there, and I was like, oh, I'm down. I'm not feeling well. What's going on? And the old me, before the transformation, before knowing spiritual truth, before knowing these distinctions, I would have probably, gotten to a ball, got back in my bed, called my girlfriends, dramatized it, had one of those days, hours that turned into weeks and maybe even a month or whatever that is. But no, I caught it in an instant and I thought, okay, you're feeling a little down. Right? I'm human. We beat ourselves up as spiritual practitioners or ministers when even enlightenment looks like sometimes you experience the relative experience of life. So I sat there and I thought, okay, so what do I need to do? I know these truths. So what did I do? I got on the phone with my prayer partner. I got my butt back into yoga. And I began to do meditation and prayer work that day, and I felt, by the end of the day, I felt amazing. So, that's what we do. We know what to do. These are tools. These are distinctions we have. So the next day I wake up and, I kind of get out of bed and I go, okay, you're feeling pretty good. Let's get back into our daily spiritual practice. And I went into meditation. I did my typical regime. And then I thought, I don't want to just get to okay, I want to get to great and epic today. So I was getting ready and I thought, okay, I'm going to put on a motivational video because one of my greatest passions is to listen to other speakers. I believe the spoken word is so powerful. So I'm getting ready, I'm in the bathroom, I'm, putting on my makeup and getting ready for the day. And I start listening to YouTube videos of all the motivational things. So I'm thinking, okay, we're doing Sunday Live. I should really, hear what's going on. Maybe I'll be inspired by someone else. What's going on? Who's a great speaker out there? So I am literally on YouTube and I'm getting ready. I'm, doing all my stuff and I'm listening to all these videos. And I'm, I'm getting ready for a while. It's probably like 30, 40 minutes into it. And I've listened to videos I've listened to Will Smith. I've listened to videos from where they take like mashups, where they take different speeches from empowering movies and they have it with music. You guys have seen those ones. They're great. They're really powerful, right? So I'm about 30 minutes into it and it dawns on me. And I'm like, there hasn't been one woman on any of these motivational videos. I literally was like, obviously we have tons of empowered women in today's world. We have incredible leaders that are women, obviously. But I was like, what is going on? And it just dawned on me in that moment of the significance of this symbology that this represented for me, for the history, for what we are moving into. And in the spiritual community, there's a lot of talk about rising of the divine feminine, the rising of this. And for the men out there, this is not about just women feminist power because the divine feminine is in men and women. The eternal truth is that we are not men or women. There is a masculine and a feminine to all of us. There's a masculine and feminine of how we create. So this one moment of thinking of these videos, it made me realize the symbolism of where we're at. And bear with me, because the talk today is wake up world. And this is how I believe we are here to demonstrate waking up ourselves and waking up the world. And so on that note, Maya Angelou has a quote. She has a great quote and it goes like this. She says, "There's no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside of the self." And I believe that. I believe that when we wake up ourselves, we wake up to a calling, to a purpose, to something, an untold story that has to be told. And the greatest story is this. It is our story of victory. That is the greatest story to ever be told. And this brings me back to the history of where I believe we are as a spiritual center, as a spiritual community, and whatever. And I believe it's this. I believe it's no longer about knowing the truth. We have enough preachers out there. We have enough of great, texts already. We don't need any more of that. We have it. We already know the truth. Now we're coming to living the truth. How do we live our truth? And, that brings me to the incredible story of a caterpillar, right? A caterpillar, the typical epitome of transformation. And, the caterpillar basically, goes along its whole life. It's like, I feel like it was me, and you can see our friends that are still caterpillars. They're like, all they care about is like eating and what they do and how's the next thing that can get me comfort and how am I going to feel good today and what's in it for me and let me get some more material crap and whatever it is, right? It's that caterpillar that's going along, doesn't even know why it's doing it, just does it. It's just like programmed in the culture and it's just eating, eating, eating. And then one day it begins to form a chrysalis, right? A chrysalis that actually hangs itself upside down and webs itself in this silk wrap. And Caterpillars are different. Some caterpillars stay in this cocoon for days, and some of them stay up to a year, right? We have our friends that are transforming and awakening. Sometimes it happens like this, and sometimes it takes a long time, right? So the caterpillar, what happens is the most amazing thing happens, because inside of it has these discs, and they're called imaginal discs. It's had it the entire time. This caterpillar then breaks out, it literally breaks out of this cocoon, and it flies, right? Who knew? And it's like that. We're like human beings that have this, we have imaginal disc in us. We have God and divine and the goddess and the guru in us the entire time. We've had it the entire time. We just forgot. And we hid it, we revealed it with this veil that we've gone in this programming of our mind. And so we're like that. We're like that caterpillar as a species, as a culture, as a world. We're in that breakdown. We're in that cocoon. We have chaos everywhere. You'll see it. And in the individual, I know within you, there is this place to be birthed, to be born, to be transformed into awakening yourself, to awaken the world. And so I realized that those motivational videos, what that represented to me was a time in history where we are still going from the old patriarchal ways. We're going to the concept that God is out there in some other entity form. And we are now going to God the Mother, that divine feminine rising within each and every one of us as the divine indwelling presence of God within us. And so how do we tap into that? How do we tap into that? And so one of my passions as a center, as a community, is to have daily spiritual practices. I believe this is the ticket to freedom, the ticket to freedom. And that is to tap in, because we know this. Coaching doesn't work. Goal setting doesn't work. The numbers show that if people go do self-development stuff, only about 1% of them will actually implement it and do it. And the reason why is because they've not tapped into their subconscious mind. They've not tapped into reprogramming their mind, releasing the limiting beliefs, and commanding their subconscious. And so my passion, my mission is to awaken. And how do you awaken? You've got to get into that divine mother, that part of their culture that has been lacking. We're staying so masculine in our ways of being, so logical. We have to tap into the feminine, which is the creative medium that creates and births babies and births creation and births, because how it creates is it informs universal law, and universal law births what we have informed it with. And so on this note, I am positive that it is time. It is time. Another woman that is so near and dear to my heart in this evolution is Emma Curtis Hopkins. She was this incredible, she's considered the mother of New Thought movement. She was the teacher of teachers. She actually taught Ernest Holmes, who was founder of Science of Mind and Religious Science. She was the teacher of Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, who started Unity. She taught Emily Cady, who actually wrote the scriptures for Unity, for Lessons in Truth. She taught Melinda Kramer and Norma Brooks from Divine Science. This was an incredible, epic divine woman. She was a mystic. She was a goddess. She knew and embodied this work so great that she had one of the most profound impacts on our industry. And she conceptualized this prophecy, knowing that this is a time in history when we are going to go from the Father of God, the God of the Son, and going to God the Mother. God the Mother. And so I invite all men, all women, everyone out there to know, going beyond our age, going beyond our race, going beyond our different identities, knowing that there is something in us being born right now, that this is the time for the woman, the feminine to rise within men and women, all now, right here, today, knowing that this is the new era. It is a new era of spirituality, because what I know for certain is this: younger generations are moving away from religion. the old school religion that preaches, that says you should do this, and this is how it is, and this is the truth. And they're moving, although younger generations identify more as spiritual than ever before, because they're tapping into the truth that's in them. However, they need to understand laws and being able to embody these daily spiritual practices. And so Emma Curtis Hopkins was this epic woman that told us, that realized that the true second coming is actually our spiritual healing of mind. That it is the embodying of that consciousness, the consciousness that is the holy consciousness, the oneness consciousness, that divine feminine that heals and comforts and is all awakening for us. And so I know right here now that, you know, she has this incredible book called The Radiant I Am. It was one of my favorites. It's like a prayer. I read it over and over again. And she goes on to say, you know, the listening disciple becomes a preaching apostle. And this is exactly the point of awakening the world. Because when we truly listen, right? What is listening? The only way you really truly listen is to go into the silence, go into meditation, go into that space where it is, you open up your consciousness for the entire wisdom of the universe to stream in, for God, divine, your higher self to stream in. So when you truly listen, you become an apostle. Because guess what? You are told your calling. You are birthed your purpose. And you can't help but bring your gifts to the world, awakening the world. And so I say, wake up, world, because as Emma Curtis Hopkins says, she says, this is my ministry. I live the breath of life forward and back through the universe. I am the power of the universe. I am the unending, unresistible life of the world. She got who she was. She knew who she was. I am the power of the mind to the universe. I am the strength of the universe. I think this. I speak this. I write this. I live this. There shall be no more poverty, she says, no lack, no want from this day forth, because she said so. I am the power of speech to the universe. My tongue is its tongue. She realized and understood that to the extent that which she used universal law, to the extent she knew it in mind, she said it, she spoke it, she reinformed her subconscious and let it stream out and inform the universal law. She knew who she was. And I know on that note that this is a divine day. And so I say that Ernest Holmes said, bondage and freedom are but two ways of using one law. And that is our choice. And as we wake up, we get to use this law for good. And so I invite everybody to just take a deep breath. Again, knowing the truth in this spiritual mind treatment, because the treatment and the cure always begins within consciousness. And so I invite everybody to just take a deep breath, knowing the truth of waking up to their greatness, waking up to who you truly are, remembering within you is already those magical cells, the transformational cells. Everything you need to do to wake up is already within you. You are the caterpillar going to be the butterfly, and we're all butterflies. It's okay to have down days. It's okay to have great days. It's all this expression of this divine thing called life. And so I know with certainty that this is the beginning, the very beginning of being butterflies, the very beginning of awakening the world as an incredible community going out to the world, internationally, globally, spreading its wings. And I say fly, sister fly, fly, divine, masculine, feminine, rising together in unity as one. And so I simply know this truth. With anything and everything in the way, I declare we are unstoppable. I declare we fly together as a community right here and right now. As together we say, and so it is. And so on that note, thank you so much, you guys. I'm so excited for this. This is just the beginning. So right now, obviously, we're doing this online. We're meeting up. We have venues in place, things going on. Stay tuned. I want you involved. And so on that note, I just want to say that I recognize everyone's contributions. We've had so many spiritual practitioners coming forth, ministers, people of service, people that really want to be involved. And so what's going to happen now is we're going to actually have a little 5 or 10 minute guided meditation for you. It's going to be a break, and you're going to be able to, we're going to be teaching the law of abundance. So every day, every Sunday, we're going to have a little talk. I'm going to do a talk. We're going to talk about our mission statement. We're going to have a guided meditation break, and then we're going to come back and I'm going to teach that law of the day. So we're going to get into teaching the law of abundance, and I'm going to get into teaching a new daily spiritual practice distinction on the second part of this service today. So it's with great honor, because I truly believe that we must know it consciously, we must decide, and then we must go within and do a daily spiritual practice. So I invite you over this meditation or the break to get involved. Go to awakeningtheworld.org. You're welcome to make a contribution, a donation, if you feel inspired to do so. And getting involved, there's courses there, there's all kinds of things. We'll talk more about that at the very end. So enjoy this meditation, and I'll see you in a moment for a learning the law of the universe and teaching daily spiritual practices, because as a community, we practice daily spiritual practices. We're going to go up to 7 daily spiritual practices that we do here, okay? I'll see you in a moment.
Welcome to the meditation on prosperity, the law of abundance. The extent to which you align yourself with universal laws is the extent to which you will experience prosperity. This law states that the universe only knows abundance. It only expands. Your thoughts are infinite, and your ability to create, innovate, and transmute is endless. You are abundance. This law is designed to have you align with absolute knowing that you are prosperity. Therefore, when you invert this law, you will experience feeling bounded and fearful. Scarcity is the effect of not remembering who you are. You are an almighty spiritual being, born, prosperous, abundant, and all-giving. You are worth more than all the gold in the world. The elements have never changed within the physical realm. It is man and women who have combined the elements in such a manner that all things are possible. You can journey the globe with a push of a button and jump on an airplane. You can communicate instantaneously with someone on the other side of the globe through technology. The truth is, you have been endowed with a mind that is immeasurable in its ability to innovate and create possibilities. Money, wealth, and prosperity is simply the confirmation of living in alignment with the law of abundance. And so taking a few deep breaths into that one source that you are, that sacred space at the core of who you are, beginning to open your heart up to the true self of who you are, knowing that even the material realm is lavish. Energy becomes unbounded through the incalculable synthesis of material particles. You are a creator. You are an inventor of your life. the abundance is who you are. And so beginning a visioning process, I invite you to close your eyes, get into a comfortable position, begin to take very, very deep breaths in through your nose and out your mouth. Breathing in the potential, your birthright of prosperity, and breathing out any limiting beliefs of scarcity and lack. Breathing in and breathing out. And so going into a visioning session, beginning to imagine that the sun is directly above your head. It is that all-knowing aspect of consciousness that you are, that holds all the wealth, all the consciousness and mentality of abundance. And imagine its rays shining down upon you. And now imagine that there are clouds between you and the sun. And even though the sun and abundance and pure potential is always there, the experience of darkness and disconnection can be imagined. Now imagine that those clouds are your limiting beliefs. All the programming that you bought into around your ability to create a life of abundance. All of the considerations that money was more powerful than you. All the things that the culture, your family, and friends told you about money and wealth. And so now just experiencing those clouds, those limiting beliefs, allowing them to just pass by, knowing that they are not you. Your true self is that sun, that pure consciousness, the golden rays that shine from you out to the world and reflect back in a life beyond your dreams. Imagining embodying the law of abundance, living without the consideration that money plays into any choice you make in your life. Knowing that money is an extension of you. It is spirit in form and in action, desiring to give, express, thrive, bless, bringing all your needs, a beautiful home, a safe place to thrive with your loved ones, whole food that nourishes your body, a healthy life filled with love, filled with joy, filled with light. Knowing that you have a specific gift and calling and message to give to the world, and it is you. So knowing that as you step into prosperity, it is stepping into abundantly being you with the highest energy, the highest service, the highest expression. Knowing that the law of abundance is designed for you to measure how much you are living in alignment with universal laws. Measure how much you are knowing who you are. And it has a beautiful feedback system. Because anytime you invert this law or don't live in alignment with abundance, you instantaneously feel scarcity, feel lack, feel divided and powerless. And so what I know for certain is who you are, a divine spiritual being, capable of all that you desire, capable of a life beyond your dreams, with every material thing that serves, everything that brings joy and comfort and love to express your gratitude towards life. Because as Thomas Troward said, the only purpose to life is to enjoy it. Namaste.
Hey there, Dr. Erin here, and we are going to be talking about the law of abundance. But before we get into that, I want to explain and have a conversation of what is the law of the universe and why should you care about the law of the universe, right? So this is the deal. The creative process goes like this. Everything begins from spirit, your higher self, that part of you that's conscious, that part of you that has free will, that part of you that has choice and volition, right? That's your highest self, spirit. And spirit basically informs this material world. It informs through the body, it informs through the subconscious, it informs universal law and is reflected back through the experience, through the actual form of this whole world. And so to align with universal law is imperative if you want to manifest what you want to manifest in this life, right? So the extent to which you align with universal law is the extent to which you're going to experience more and more free will, more and more divine powers, more and more joy and light and love, right? Because this is what I know, the extent to which you are at a discord with the law is the extent to which you'll experience suffering and discord and, not feeling well. So this is the deal. We have the law and we get to use it and align with it and rise and expand, or we get to invert it and entangle and have discord and feel like we are the effect of life. So you have a choice right now, right? So the law of abundance is one law out of many laws. There's really only one law of the universe, and it's the law of cause and effect. It's the law. It's the Lord, as they call it in some religions, right? But the law is basically, you can break it down. I've broken it down into 40 distinctions. I actually have oracle cards, and I'm so excited to bring those out one day. But so the law of abundance, let's stay on this topic. So the laws basically are what tells us what the axioms. They're the axioms, they're the laws. If someone said, okay, here's this thing called life, and I'm going to give you the rule book for life of how to, how to win the game of life, right? It would be a book of the laws. That's basically what it'd be. So when you learn the laws, you will know each day when you question things, what should I do? How should I go about doing this? You can just refer to laws, refer to spiritual principles to have more and more success. But you get to apply it in your unique divine expression. So this isn't about telling you what you need to do. This is about you applying this to your life and seeing if it works. And if it does, great. If it doesn't, leave it behind, right? Okay. So let's begin. So the law of abundance states that all of life, the universe, is abundant. That there is infinite equations of all the elements, right? There's set equations of this whole universe, but how we put those equations together is infinite. And we know this. We know that, like, for example, steel originally, like, it wouldn't float in the water, but we figured out, man figured out, woman figured out that if we have a big enough of a surface of steel, then we can have a boat go across the ocean, right? So we also knew that, steel can't fly, that, you can't just put something up like an airplane into the sky and have it fly, but we realized that we can put different things together and create things like an engine, create fuel and make it fly, right? These are the equations, and this is the infinite potential of the law of abundance. But this is how abundance works. The extent to which you innovate and collaborate is the extent to which you will experience your abundance. The extent to which you experience and declare yourself separate and hold on to small thinking and don't evolve and don't innovate is the extent to which you're going to experience more and more scarcity, okay? So this is a very, very basic law. And I invite you to take this into your life, into your practice, into all the things. So we're actually going to go through a process around the law of abundance in a moment. But first, I want to just talk about our daily principles that we live by as a community. And this is not just the only ones, but these are the basic ones that we live by, okay? So number one is on a daily spiritual practice, we practice meditation. And meditation is really the medium between the individual self and the higher self. It's a relationship, and it's merging into that oneness. Some people call it yoga. People think yoga is just a physical practice. Yoga is actually a spiritual mind, body, spirit union of the lower self and the higher self, right? So practicing meditation every day. For many people, they like to practice 20 minutes in the morning and 20 minutes in the evening. Science has proven that this is breakthrough as far as having your life become better, having you become more powerful, with more clarity, more purpose, and of course, launching yourself with the law of abundance. Number two is that we have mindfulness. We practice mindfulness. Mindfulness means that at every moment you stay very, very present. You stay mindful of how what you're doing, what you're thinking, how you're being in the world is affecting the world. So becoming mindful means that we're not attaching and living in the future of anxiety, and we're not living in the past of regret, remorse, and a limited story around what's happened. We stay present. We stay present in the mindfulness. We're mindful of the presence that we are, that divine presence within. Number three is our language. We practice the power of word, because what we know for sure in metaphysics and in New Thought movement is that every single word that comes out of our mouth actually creates our world into existence. How we speak about people, places, and things actually creates them into existence in our world. How we experience them, the circumstances, because all of life is a relationship. And your relationship to your word is how you relate to everything, right? So becoming very mindful of your word, your spoken word. Spoken word is not just about getting up on a stage and giving a profound talk. Spoken word is every single thought that you have that's coming out of your mouth that is going into how people view you, how you are received. Are you complaining, or are you actually speaking into existence your radiance, right? So the law of abundance, as far as speaking, if you speak of the potential, if you speak of as if things are already happening, you speak of gratitude, you speak of expanding, you speak of innovation, you're in accordance with the law of abundance. If you're speaking into complaining, being the effect of world, what's wrong with everything, you are inverting the law of abundance, and you're going to experience more and more of feeling like sadness and being the fact of life, okay? Next is visioning. Every single day we vision. We take time because we know this, that the mind is so powerful, and how we inform universal law in our subjective mind is through mental pictures. The law doesn't know exactly the word that comes out. It knows pictures. It knows the feeling behind it, right? So visioning is important, and we do two processes in visioning. One, we ask our higher self to bring our vision to us so that our vision isn't coming out of our ego, just wanting a bunch more material things. We actually use visioning to call in the vision from our higher self. And then once we have that vision, we're clear on our vision, then we energize it through mental pictures. Things like doing vision boards, things like going into meditation and visualizing as if everything's already occurred. And when we take a mental picture and we energize it with feeling, deep feeling and emotion, and we feel the gratitude in there, it actually informs our belief within our subconscious, which informs universal law, okay? So next is intuition. Intuition is that guide, that GPS inside. And so every day, part of our daily spiritual practice is to live and be guided by our intuition, because our intuition is actually into that space, that knowing, that highest self that knows exactly where we are best serving, what is best serving us, and you can ask it and you know when you're living in intuition or not. So if you're living in the law of abundance through intuition, intuition means that you are actually guiding towards what is going to be for your highest good and what's for the highest good of others. If you're inverting intuition, you go, yeah, I hear that voice, that's good for me, but I think I'm going to go over here instead and have a relative experience. Great, have at it, but know that you're going to experience lack and discord if you go against what that voice, that intuition, that GPS inside is telling you to do, okay? Next is affirmation. So affirmative prayer is what we practice in New Thought. And basically that means that what we do is every day we get into a state where we are receptive to the truth, where we reveal the truth. And that means, so anytime we come against an obstacle in life, anytime we feel down, anything, we go within and we basically declare the truth. We know that there is one source, and there is this infinite source, like the law of abundance, right? That truth. And we get in that space, we know that we are that. We are the same life force that's created all abundance everywhere. And we unify with that, and then we reveal whatever we want to know the truth of. So say we're having a hard time with our, our family or something like that. We go, excuse me, into mind and we visualize, and we know the truth. We see it happening. We see it flowing. We see love abundant. And then excuse me, and then we basically know this truth, we reveal it, and then we release it to the law of the universe. And we actually say, and so it is. And then last, we affirm, like mantras. It's like a mantra, right? And so in yoga, we have mantras, ongoing mantras. But instead of saying some foreign language, we say our truth. So we affirm all over, again and again throughout the day. Excuse me. And we use this affirmation all the time in our daily spiritual practice. And then lastly, we do service. So all the time, every single day, we live in service. We live in service all the time. Every day we ask ourselves, how can we serve? Because we know that as we use our energy to help others, the law of correlation has to come back. It has to be reflected back. So in the daily spiritual practice, we serve, right? So if we want to experience and align with the law of abundance, we actually we know that service is going to bring back more and more abundance. So say we want more abundance in the area of money, we actually help others, bring value to others to help them thrive more in their finances. If we want more love, we give more love to others. And that has to be reflected back through the law. Not always in the same relationship, but in all of it, because there's only one thing going on here. And then lastly is, of course, our physical practice. So it's very important to get into a daily spiritual practice of moving and getting in accordance with this beautiful energy. And it only flows, energy only flows when you get in flow. So again, this is over and over, knowing the law of abundance. So on this note, sorry that I had a little issue, but this is the thing. It's unfolding perfectly. And I know that if I, swallow wrong, or if I don't say the right words, don't come out of me whenever I'm giving a talk, you know what? We just keep going, because that's life. And I'm not perfect. I'm perfectly imperfect. I'm a human being having a beautiful experience in this relative life. And so I know that within you there is something to that is stopping you. Don't let it stop you. Keep going. Even when things don't go perfectly, keep going. And that's when you're going to be in flow with the law of abundance. And so on that note, I just want to say that let's just take a couple minutes to just know the truth in meditation. So today we're going to talk about meditation for just a few minutes, going into the law of abundance. You just had a meditation on it. And so I just want to breathe with you in this divine moment, knowing that there's a relationship, there's a medium, there's a meditation between yourself and your higher self, that there's a relationship. And as you get in accordance with that relationship in abundance, through the law of abundance, knowing that this is a relationship that's ever giving, it's ever flowing. The wisdom that can stream through you and the truths that can stream through your higher self are infinite, that all potential is within you. That there's no need to go out in the world and goal set and do the to-do list until you've come within, until you've come to that sacred space and allowed the innovation to flow through you, that abundant knowing, that abundant truth, that abundant love. And then when you're filled all the way to the brim with abundance, you can go out in inspired action and take and fulfill every last goal you've ever had in your life. Being unstoppable, being a spiritual, divine individual. And so I invite you to take some time today to go into meditation, to know the truth of abundance, and to allow all the innovation, all the resources, everything, knowing you're worth more than all the gold on the entire planet. And so I just want to say thank you guys. Thank you for having this time with me and the community today, knowing that this is a celebration. Sunday is a celebration of you, as is every moment, as is every day of the week, really. There's always a sacred time, a sacred space, and it's within. And so I know awakening the world begins with awakening the self. And so my commitment to you is to have a community that is thriving and committed to not just knowing the truth, but living the truth. Through daily spiritual practice, through service, through community, with love, wisdom, and truth. And so have a wonderful day, you guys. Have a divine day. And I hope you guys get involved with awakeningtheworld.org. We would love to have your unique divine expression. Have a wonderful day. Hi again. I would love to invite you to get involved with awakeningtheworld.org. There's many ways you can do that. You can like, share, and comment on this video right here. You can also go to awakeningtheworld.org and you can click the link, Get Involved. We want your unique divine expression. This is a community of like-minded people helping and serving the world. This is a global and international community. You can also get involved by simply downloading our app that has 30 free guided meditations, and you can also begin to take one of our courses. We have 30-Day Prosperity, and we have Divine Mastermind. We also have Sunday service every 9 a.m. on Sundays, and we have a prayer hotline. We also have a Wednesday mastermind where we collaborate and rise all together in our personal lives and in this community. So have a wonderful divine day, and please go to awakeningtheworld.org and get involved. We would love to have you. So if you're not familiar with New Thought movement and science of mind, I would love to just tell you a little bit about what we believe. We believe that there's really one source of this universe, and it's God, it's divine, it's spirit. And we believe that that is within us, that it is not some outside source, but it is the expression of ourselves. And to the extent that we become aware of this consciousness, this divine consciousness, this presence indwelling within us, is the extent to which we experience our full spiritual powers, our ability to make an impact and awaken ourselves and awaken the world. We also believe that the individualization of spirit is within, that each person has a unique divine expression and gets to use the universe in a macrocosm and a microcosm within their own life. They get to use it in the filter of their life, so every belief that they have has to be reflected in this world. We believe in eternality. We believe in immortality. We believe it's right here and right now. We don't believe heaven is after we die or hell. We believe it's right here, and it's the extent to which we use our mind. We can use it for chaos to live a hell, or we can use it for harmony to create a heaven here, right here on earth. We believe that heaven is within us, literally. We also believe that the unity of life is the highest and most use of our divinity. We're here to have all discord and all suffering go away. We're here to use our consciousness and see how we demonstrate. So we get to use this in this material world, this relative experience, this divine thing called life. We also believe in direct revelation of the truth. We believe that anybody and everybody's birthright is prophecy, that we get to live this, and the extent to which someone is really in tune with their higher self, in tune with the truth and wisdom and love, is the extent to which they begin to teach the truth. They begin to live the truth. They begin to awaken the world. And so that's why we believe that as we awaken ourselves, we awaken the world. We also believe that universal spirit operates in a creative medium called the law, this cause and effect law that is the reflection of how we use it. We get to have limiting beliefs and restrict that law and feel the experience of a limited life, or we get to expand our consciousness and experience our grand powers within. We also believe in the healing of the sick, the healing of circumstances through the power of mind. We know that we are the effect of the environment, but we get the choice of what environment we get to put ourselves into. We get to know that everything of life, the chaos, the toxins, the environment issue is really at the core of our consciousness as a culture, as one spiritual entity called the human race. And the extent to which we choose to heal Mother Nature, we get to heal ourselves and have a non-toxic world, is the extent to which we get to have higher and higher vibration as we eat whole foods and align with Mother Nature and align with authentic truth, is the extent to which we will experience vibrant vitality. And also we believe in eternal goodness, that at the core of every single person is a good spirit, that there is a divine highest potential within each person, and we choose to focus on that. We choose to expand that because we know this: what we give energy to expands and what we don't diminishes. And how we hold the world is how it's going to expand, because whatever we resist persists. So we're here to know the truth. We're here to know wisdom, truth, and love together as a community, knowing that these principles free us. We're here as a community, a movement, and an international spiritual center. Have a great day, and please, we'd love for you to be involved.